I am 41 years old, single, without kids, living in a van outside my mom's house. But I'm on the next chapter of my life. I'm currently building a tiny home next door, like literally next door to my mom. This is my tiny home I'm building, and it's literally next door to my mom's house. This is my mom. Mom, you happy that I'm moving next door?
Fam, I gotta say, sometimes immense amounts of baggage is just self-explanatory. I mean, 41, being that cute, no kids, and living in a van? You're telling me that you couldn't get a man to take care of you when you're that cute? That tells this gorilla all he needs to know about how much of a headache you really are. On top of that, you're building a tiny home next to your mom's house and seeing your mom's reaction. I'm sorry, lady. I do believe that a woman at that age deserves peace. And she's reacting that way because you're moving in next to her. That means that she already knows the kind of headaches you're bringing with you. Sweetheart, at 41, you shouldn't be building a small shack next to your mom's house so you can move out of your van. You should have either A, had your own kids, and if you didn't have them, hey, that's awesome. That's your choice. Maybe you couldn't have them, or maybe you didn't want to have them. Doesn't matter. But at 41, you could have got yourself a guy in his early to late 50s being more than willing to take care of you. Unless you're a raging beast of a woman who practically destroys every relationship she's been in. Now, I may be completely wrong, and she may be a saint, but somehow I don't think so. I'm thinking she's more like a siren. Attractive from afar, sings beautifully to get you in, and then crashes you on the rocks.
That was diabolical.
Before we move on, I want to bring to attention that 75% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. Come on, fam. You've seen my logo on other channels, and you're already here. Please hit that subscribe button and support the channel. It really helps out. Moving on.
If I have to go through one more talking stage, I'm gonna lose my mind. What's your favorite color? I don't know, Rob. The color of not getting spontaneously ghosted. What are your hobbies? Well, Brad, not being a part of your casual dating roster is at the top of the list. How many kids do you have? And how old are they? We are in our mid-40s to early 50s, Greg. Our kids are grown. They ain't looking for a new daddy. I am.
Oh, the world owes me a living.
Oh, dang, Queen. Is that like the biggest complaint that you have about dating? Getting ghosted. Hey, welcome to the club. Men have been ghosted since day one. Your other gripe is not being part of the guys. I assume you were referring to a roster. Then stop dating Chaz and Tyrones and that won't be a problem. Obviously, if you suspect he has a roster, it's because you already know that he can get more than one. So, expectation management there, honey. And you also don't want them to talk about kids because the kids are grown. Well, maybe your kids are grown. How is he supposed to know? Better him to ask about the kids than to ask how many baby daddies you have, don't you think? Moving on.
Okay, so we all out here dating. And I was just thinking something. Tell me if this sounds like you. I want somebody, but just sometimes. I want to get married, but you stay at your house and I stay at my house. And then you come over or I go over there and we kick it, we have a good time and all that stuff. But then I go back to my house or you go back to your house. And we married. Tell me if that sounds like you. Because that would be perfect for me. Because I don't really want you like that. I want you, but just sometimes.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Oh, so you want to be married and living in separate houses. Oh, I get it. So basically, you want him around when you need him around. You want to make sure that no one else can have him. And when you're bored and when you want to upgrade, you want to divorce him and take half his stuff. Got it. I mean, it's ingenious. Why wouldn't any woman not want this? Unless, of course, they don't have a house and then they have to depend on the guy to give them a house. So when you said, if this is like you, are you saying that this is like all you other women who are dusties who want to take a man for everything he has and just use him for when you want him at the house? I mean, seriously, Queen, what's the point of being married for a man under a condition like that? There isn't one. I mean, men would do that if they were going the sugar baby route. But then again, sugar babies are young women, not, let's say, seasoned post-wall women. Oh, sweetheart, and if there is any doubt in your mind what post-wall means, look at your egg carton. If it's on the very low end of it, yeah, you're probably post-wall. Moving on.
Older women, younger men. Go. What do we think? Well, I think it's completely appropriate, and I think that we should be able to date whoever we want. I am not talking about a 16-year-old with a 30-year-old. I'm talking about consenting adults with a 5, 10, 15-year age gap. Anywhere from 30 up
You know what you're doing, okay? So I think it's fine. I got a message the other day from a friend, actually more of an acquaintance, messaging me, asking me about the Tinder neighbor, okay? And he said, how old is he? I said, 49. He said, why are you bothering? You're 8 years older. I'm 6 years older, but sure. Okay, I'm 56. This guy turns 50, I don't know, in a month. I said, well, yeah, 6 years. And he said, but why? Why are you bothering? I get that you act young, but why are you bothering? He's just after like a thing. And I kind of thought, I don't act young. I have a young energy. I love life. I embrace things. I say yes to everything. I love adventure. I'm spontaneous. I'm not a 56-year-old old nana. Oh, even doing my washing. See?
No there, Queen. You are acting young, okay? You don't have this young energy to you. You have what's called trying to feel younger by dating younger. I mean, I'm sorry. Why do older women love to come around here and try to change the rules and set up standards for people? Now it's okay to date younger, but you're going to put an age limit cap of it of 5-10 years because it suits you? What happened to all that shaming language that women use when they see an older man with a younger woman, which is far more common? What happened to all those special keywords like pedo, abusive, manipulative? Nope, those go out the window once a woman wants to date a younger man. Now it's empowering. Now it's her feeling younger, having younger energy. Well, you know what? Two can play this game. I'm pretty sure that older men dating young women say, hey, I've got younger energy. And since my younger energy is affecting my sausage to act younger, my sausage wants to go after a younger, crispier taco, not your roast beef. Or if you want to go from a different angle, you could say, oh, well, you know, I want to dip myself in tropical wet beaches, not dry, sandy deserts. Trust me, sweetheart, there's an amount of energy that's going to change that. Reality, no matter how much you want to identify as a brand new repackaged juicy taco.
House proud as well. But I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway, I have a really good life. I love my life and I don't need someone, but I want someone, okay? But I was really, really surprised. I'm like, come on. Like, are we still talking about young men, older women? Come on. And I have dated younger men and they have wanted to have relationships with me, but I have had to let them go because I feel like, you know, they're going to want to have children at some point. And obviously I'm past all that. I've got kids. I'm fine. And I love the energy of a younger man. I don't want to date a 60-year-old. I don't want to date an old man that, A, they're getting incompatible, and B, they just become kind of old ladies a little bit. You know, the old men, they lose their testosterone, they become more feminine. But I was really surprised that this guy really was thinking that older women can't date younger men. Like, can we stop the judging? Can we just do whatever the hell we want to do? I got to go and take my washing out. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that women are in their prime in their 50s and mid 50s, and they need men in their mid 40s or early 50s to keep up. What do you think?
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Oh, what does this gorilla think? Well, thank you for asking there, Queen. I will answer honestly. Firstly, I will have to say if anyone has to say that they are happy or have a good life or whatever on social media, that really isn't 100% accurate. If you need to try to convince others that you have a good life, then there are issues there that you're trying to ignore, or you're just not saying the whole story. The other part of the story is when you're saying that you need a younger man to keep up with you in the bedroom, I'm going to say only if you have way too much bottled lube to use up. I don't believe the story about older women actually needs a younger man to satisfy her in the bedroom. I'm going to pass on that one. That is what my male viewers would say, okay, that's a retired 304 who wants to get back in there and get all the young Chads and Tyrones to rack up that mileage, because it doesn't matter at that age. There's probably very little grip to the tires left. And that model, at that point, needs a lot of her fluids changed out constantly. I'm not saying that you can't have a good time, Granny, but just call it as it is. You want young men so you can relive your 304 days, or maybe you're making up for lost time in fantasies, and men your age probably don't want a relationship with you. Or, let me correct myself, the men your age that you're attracted to probably don't want a relationship with you. They probably see some red flags out there that they're saying, no thanks, Granny, I'm gonna pass on this one. Other possibility is that the men your age that you are attracted to can pull in young women, or probably are pulling in young women. And they say, hey, check it out, no bottled lube required for this one. And I don't need to take a blue pill in order to get excited for this one. Either way, I think she's only saying part of the story. Moving on.
Get unready with me? Well, I explained to you that even at the age of 44, Disney is so far in like my subconscious that I can't get past it. I can't get past it. I blame Disney for why I'm single. So anyways, I went to a gala tonight, and during the fall I have to go to galas a lot because of work, and I'll save you all the boring stuff, but I swear to you, every time I go to a gala, while I'm in the shower, while I'm getting ready, while I'm doing all the things, I'm like, What if I go and I meet Prince Charming? What if I meet him there? What if this is the time? And so I put all the extra work into getting ready and looking gorgeous just in case I meet Prince Charming. Because, you know, Cinderella. So then I started thinking on my way home, because spoiler alert, I did not meet any sort of charming anybody, right? Because everybody that shows up to galas shows up with their significant others. Men don't go to galas just to go to galas, just for the record. Anyways, listen, Cinderella could not happen in my life, and I don't know why I think it could. Because let's be honest, I have no reason to ever have a curfew. The only reason I would be rushing out of anywhere is if my children had an emergency. And if my children had an emergency, it is very doubtful that my 44-year-old knees would allow me to run in my heels, right?
Old.
You know, ladies, it's hard for you to argue that women are not delusional nowadays when you still have examples like this going on social media. A 44-year-old woman trying to dazzle herself up, going to a gala, expecting to find Prince Charming. At 44! Seriously, come on, you make it way too easy for my male viewers to poke holes and make fun of these things. I'm trying to be on your side here, ladies, but you make it pretty difficult now, don't you? This gorilla is just sitting back and thinking, okay, why is this 44-year-old post-war queen who's talking about Disney princesses when she looks more like Ursula is blaming Disney movies for her being single at this age and expecting a Prince Charming? No. Blame yourself there, sweetie. Why don't you call on a little bit of accountability? Why don't you say, hey, you know what? I deluded myself into thinking that this was going to happen at this age. Let's run this through, ladies. A 44-year-old woman who believes that she's as cute as she was when she was in her 20s is going to go to one of these galas, and supposedly the pretty woman effect is going to happen. Some billionaire is going to show up, see her, and say, wow, out of all the women I've had in my life, or I can have in my life, my eyes are focused on you, and I don't care how many kids you have, and I don't care how many baby daddies you have. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how empty your egg carton is. I don't care how much work you have to do on yourself to get yourself looking halfway decent. You are the one for me. Where have you been all my life? Sure, that may happen, and you'll have your one night stand with the guy, but expectation management, honey. The most you're gonna get out of it is a ride on $1 billion sausage. But let's hear what else she has to say.
So I would probably have to take off my heels and I would be holding them. But let's pretend that I did. I was running in them. And let's pretend one of them fell off. Do you know how much my heels cost? I pay for everything on my own. I know the dollar amount of my heels. And at 44, I'm buying nice heels. I'm not leaving one back. And the truth is, let's say I dropped it, then some man started to approach the heel while I'm approaching. I'm yelling. I'm yelling for anybody, anywhere that is around, because this man and I are going after the same thing in the dark stairs of nowhere. That is a scary situation. I know to yell. I know not to go to a second location. There is no Cinderella life happening anywhere. And yet I still get all dressed up, and I still think every time I go to a gala, maybe it's the time I'm going to meet the love of my life. Maybe this is the time. And now I'm coming home alone where it's peaceful, and I don't have to listen to anybody complain about me bidding on whatever I wanted to bid. And maybe this is the fairy tale I was supposed to learn.
Maybe this is the fairy tale you were supposed to learn. Queen, it's called life. It's called reality. There's no fairy tale here. Why do you keep thinking this? And this is not unique to her. There are so many women out there who keep dreaming the fairy tale life. Listen, it's great to have dreams, but it would be good practice if you made them somewhat achievable. For example, if you dream about being an accountant and you go to school for it and you become an accountant, hey, that's a great dream and you made it happen. If you dream about having a successful business and you work at it, that's another dream that came true. But don't blame Disney because you bought into their fairy tale. Their fictional story. Here's a reality check, sweetheart. Disney doesn't make money off of selling you your own story. Disney doesn't go and say, hey, let's make a story about the hardworking woman who works as a cashier in a corner store and she worked her way up to management. Or let's make a movie about the girl who worked as a fry cook and she made it all the way up to owning her own restaurant. Nope, that's not a Disney fairy tale. Women want to be rescued. This gorilla's clear on it, but stop thinking that it's someone else's fault that you bought into that. In all fairness, there was a time where men did rescue women. Those are traditional times before this womanist Kool-Aid came around and said, hey, you don't need that man to hold you down by being your Prince Charming. You can go out there and be your own queen. Problem is that the bulk of you women just went out there and just became corporate peasants.
Now that's a lot of damage!
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms.
If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit,
please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.